you'd be the first one I'd hit. You'd be the big, no, in this group, you'd be the big, because the fat guy I'm not worried about. The guy that looks kind of, so I would have hit him with the cricket bat first. And never quite came to that. But then the leader of the group came up to me and said, my men are saying that you're trying to intimidate them. There's 40 of them and one of me. But I got this. Now, how many, before they're all over me, how many can I hit? But they're always worried that they're going to be the first to get hit. And that's the leverage you got, guys. You got a big mouth. Are you going to be first? Doubt it. And that's the story of this cricket bat. And I didn't have to hit anybody. But in the meeting, when they were talking bullshit, I took a cricket bat and I broke the fucking table. And I left. But that's the story of the cricket bat. And because we couldn't get a gun. If I had a gun, then I wouldn't have had the cricket bat. But in a deal like that, unlike the movies, you hit the biggest guy, and you don't talk about it. You don't, like I say, oh, do you have any last words? That's all bullshit. You hit him as hard as you possibly can in the most vulnerable place. And then normally, not always, normally the rest of the guys fade into insignificance. But you better make sure you put that guy down. So it's not one of these, like I tell you, shoving back and forth like the girls, in the schoolyard. I never saw that. Where I came from, I never saw anybody shove anybody. And we'll get ahead of the slides, but since I'm talking about it. When I was in grammar school, I got expelled, not from the school, but the district, for the third episode of bad stuff that I did as a kid. First thing I did, we're playing, there used to be a thing called Foursquare, where you throw the ball on the ground and the other person takes it and they throw it, and it's Foursquare anyway. And the guy was cheating me, so I punched him in the face. And in those days, they had lenses in the glasses. And I shattered the glasses in his eyes. It's the only time in all the bad stuff I've done that I ever lost any sleep, because they said that the guy was going to lose his eyesight. It's the only time I've ever lost any sleep about anything. Okay. Next semester, I'm again out in the yard, and we're fucking around, and I knock a guy down, and everybody said they heard his arm snap. I didn't hear it snap. And so I'm always dancing around. When you're down, I'm dancing around. And so I was doing that before Muhammad Ali ever did it. Sting like, what the fuck would he say? Yeah, I was doing that from years when I was a kid. And so he says, my arm's broke. And I said, no, but you cocksucker, now it is. And I broke it in 6 or 7 places. Then the third, I get expelled from school that time. And then the third time, famous, and I got an aquarium. You'd call it the first floor. We called it the second floor. The teacher, I don't know what he did to me, pissed me off, and I dropped the aquarium on him from the floor. But he moved, thank God. And I've tried to find that guy. I tried to apologize. But he's dead now. Not from that, he wasn't. But that's when they said, we want the kid out of school. We won't take him back under any circumstances. And I was gone. And that's how we moved to the Valley. In a house we couldn't afford. My mother begged my father, he's going to be dead. We got to get him out of here somehow. So we went to the Valley. I got in a lot of trouble there too, but in the hood, I mean, they shoot you and shit. In the Valley, they weren't shooting people. They just, they're pushing people, like this. They used to call, Japs were Jewish American princesses, they called them. But if you were a Valley girl, that means this was your main position in life. Valley girl. So I moved to the Valley. I got in a lot of trouble, unfortunately. And as I told you, I tried to burn the school down when I graduated from high school. But that was a long story from the cricket bat. There was another question.
Why is Santa on the Hall of Fame?
Oh, that is former head of marketing for Tony Robbins, Ed Taylor, who I hired away to be, because Tony had the best marketing on the planet, and some arguably say he still does. And so I hired Ed, and who was with me for a number of years. And then he went and moved up to, I think, Oregon or Washington to kind of, I don't know, chill out or semi-retire or whatever. And then a number of years ago, he did a gig, and he's really an affable, funny, laughing guy, really. And he played, I guess, and Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, and email me, he played a Santa Claus in some deal a number of years ago, and now he's one of the leading Santa Clauses on the planet. And that's really him. That's not any bullshit beard. That's really him. That's what he looks like. And on my 20th birthday, he sent me a frame, or 50th birthday, he sent me a frame thing. It says, I know that birthdays are for morons and poor people, but happy birthday anyway. And he sent me a birthday as well on my 70th, or 72nd actually, I believe. But that's why he's there. And he's there's three ways to get up on the Hall of Fame. One, create $1 billion in value for somebody. Personally change the lives of millions of people. And that's how Brian Rose got up there. And three, and it depends on what the industry, and if you're pre-internet or post-internet, create between 100 and $400 or $500 million.
Of net worth.
Yeah, well, not necessarily, it might not be yours. It may be for other people, but I mean, be able to create it, and that we have to prove up the numbers. And all those people fall in that category. All those people fall in that category. And some of them had lost the money. They made a couple $100 million, then they went boost, as Sally would say. I believe I'm the only guy in, roughly speaking, the industry, even though I don't consider myself part of that industry, that has lost $300 or $400 million. Like, well, no. I mean, just shockingly, I made a mistake. I have made some mistakes in the past, and they normally cost me $150, $100 million. I don't make mistakes that I bought the wrong tie. I mean, I'm making pretty horrific things. And it's normally because when I believe, I may be wrong, but I'm never in doubt. When I bet on something, I normally bet big. I put all the chips, because I believe it. I wouldn't be fucking doing it if I didn't believe in it. And a few times I've been wrong, and it cost me dearly, severely. Okay, was there another one you wanted me to explain?
So when you lost no confidence in yourself when you lost?
No.
Because you've done it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you just dust yourself off. It's like when the buffalo ran over me. I dusted myself off, and I've thought through the buffalo a lot of times. How could I have avoided getting run over by the buffalo? I wasn't quick enough to move with my slow twitch muscles. Now, some of you guys in this room might have been able to get out of the way, but not me, certainly. But I listened to the best, supposedly, hunter trainer, lead guide in Australia, and he told me bullshit. Just like much of the stuff that's been told now was bullshit. He said that there's no way the buffalo can jump over that big log and get out of that fucking pond. There's no way. So that means he's going to have to come around this way, and you're going to be able to take him on from the side. He flew over that fucking log like it wasn't even there. He like levitated out of a super Marvel comic book. And he was on me like... So, a few things like that I've done, unfortunately. But I've lived to tell about it. But and again, it's who I am. And just like the Bionic Man, that's the doctors say that's probably the main reason I had to replace my hip, because that's where he hit me with his hoof, walking as he ran over me. And that's probably why this shoulder I had to replace, because that's where he hit me with his other hoof. And then over time, all that stuff, and I've got a couple of buddies, guys I know that play professional American football, And when they get older, they get all arthritic and they're all banged up and from all, well, I mean, that a doctor friend of mine and his wife's married to 3 guys that played in professional football, and they're the only 3 brothers that played in the same game. Now you can Google fuck this. The 3 brothers of the same family that played in the same game in national football. And 2 were on one team and 1 was on the other team. And they played. And so one of those guys, we were in, I think it was Cabo San Lucas for a birthday. And he was saying how he's all fucking fucked up from arthritis. And I was, well, I've got the same pains because arthritis attacks those broken bones. All that busted up shit and arthritis attacks it. And, but I would have rather gotten to playing sports, instead of get run over by buffaloes and shit. But, yeah, but that's why the bionic man thing, because I've had the need, really, the obsession to press myself. Again, why? My dad, all kinds of different reasons. But I press myself, I press the edges of the envelope in just everything I do. I always do more. If you're supposed to do this, I do more. I started exercising too early for my 2 knees, and I'm paying the price now. I did my 2 knees. They said don't do them together, have them fixed apart a year or 2. I didn't do that. I never listened. Doc, what kind of doctors know, Doc? I mean, how can a doctor that does this all day long know more than me? Well, they did, and I'm paying the price because I should have waited a year between the knees. I had total knees. Now, not that you need to see, but these pants, see, even these pants are too tight. I can't get them over my thigh. But anyway, I should have listened. But I don't listen very often. Okay, Elon. We've talked about Elon has left to leave his brother run Tesla, right? Now, you've got various opinions. Doc here has got some glorious, heaven-like opinion, God-like, why he's doing it. I believe differently, but we'll never know. But these are some of the things that Mr. Musk, you know about internet, clean energy, you know all this compact, you know how he made money, you know all that. That's not news, okay? Tesla, everybody and his brother knows about Elon Musk, right? Okay, but I've been told I'm going to hell for my excessive use of the word fuck. I've already rented a bus if any of you want to come along. His favorite word is fuck. Shocking, actually. Bloody fucking shocking. How can a man of his renowned abilities and capabilities and reputation use words like that? Because they all do. It's only you, weenie snowflake, that talk like a wimp. Bloody shocking. But Elon's not a snowflake by any stretch of the imagination. There's nothing like seeing someone put on their last dollar to save their dream. And Elon's done that a couple times in his deals. Are you going to be willing to put your last penny in to save your deal? I have. I put 82 million pounds into a bond offering, a debenture offering, to save Great Western back in the day. 82 million pounds. It was about $140 million at the time, which I didn't have. How much do you love it? Is it your passion? Is it your dream? Or is it just bullshit? And these guys, and I'm not saying that what Fred Smith did, allegedly taking the money from his 2 sisters and doing all the stuff all these guys have supposedly done, but when they say that they're going to do whatever it takes, they mean it. And I'm not saying to murder somebody or something like that, although I'm told some of the deals, there's less people on the planet because of some of these guys. That's what they say. Can you believe it? Bloody fucking shocking. That Henry Ford I had the goons beat to death the union reps. Well, it's shocking. It's hard to believe. I'm not saying it's right. How is that different than Caligula? How is that different than Alexander the Great? How is that different than Mao Zedong? How is that different than Adolf, your uncle? How is that different? Come on, Doc. I mean, put a rosy spin on it. Give that PhD, put a rosy spin how it's different. Well, it's not different. I'm not saying you should do that, but a lot of people have done a lot of ugly things to push forward humanity. And there's collateral damage. You can't, as they say, you can't make an omelet without breaking some fucking eggs. So don't think now in the 21st century in 2017, it's all different now. I'm okay, you're okay, cha-cha-cha. You're here because of the sacrifices those people made. You might not agree with them politically, socially, morally, philosophically, any other kind of way. But we're here because those people did those things. And a lot of them are ugly. The Greeks did a lot of bad things. The Romans did a lot of bad things. They killed 400 people in Chicago so far this year. 400. Now, people that live in, well, I don't know how many they killed in Manchester. They kill anybody in Manchester this year? Yeah, probably. And they just killed some people in Barcelona last night. Was it last night?
Yep.
What the fuck? Barcelona. Where my family's from Segovia, actually. Segovia. That and a nickel won't buy you fuck. Now, I'm not recommending you do all this stuff, but you got to remember, harsh things happen to get the planet to where we are. But you don't have to do anything harsh to make QLA work. All you got to have is chaos. The more chaos, the better. From chaos comes order. And as I said back in November, I couldn't have written the formula any better to make this work. As long as, and I've already gone through the caveat, as long as the interest rates don't go nuts, etc., we have a kind of an open field. Back in your youth, we got an open field. There's no defenders.
Touchdown.
Exactly. Touchdown. But you'll try to step on your dick. Oh, wait, no, step and fucking. But we got an open field. Because there's no competition. Nobody else is doing this except for the mentees that have come out of this program. And one of the questions somebody asked me, I don't know if it's last night, are you going to bump into each other? No, you're not. We've only had 3 or 4 people step on each other's dick in 24 years. In other words, go after the same thing, same blah, blah. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And if you're in the United States, we've never had anybody. We've only had it here a few times in Europe. Because it's a much smaller universe than the U.S.
How come there's not too many people to follow the system?
Because there's nobody teaching it but me, and I only teach 4 to 6 times a year, 20 people roughly, and so there's not that many people out there. But it's not a dissimilar system that Andrew Carnegie used in the late 1800s. It's not dissimilar to Rockefeller, to build Standard Oil. It's not dissimilar to Ford. Okay, YouTube, thank you. We'll see you later.